And welcome back to the Vortex on this lovely Sunday afternoon. Today we're going to be talking about Licorice Pizza.
And her daddy has told her to go.
Listen, young lady.
But her friend is nowhere to be seen.
So how'd you become such a hotshot
She
actor?
walks through her
I'm a showman. That's what I'm meant to do.
to the seat with the clearest view. Then she's hooked to the silver screen.
Do you know who I am?
You've probably seen this on your streaming service and wondered about whether you should press play or not, whether you should bother. And my opinion is you definitely should. It's a little mini masterpiece, and this is going to be very controversial. It's been very divisive. A lot of people have been upset by this movie, mainly because the main story of this film is about a 26-year-old Alana Kane falling for a 15-year-old called Gary. Now, why I can brush this aside quite easily straight off the bat is that we're talking about a fictional film here written by Paul Thomas Anderson. Does this give him some free pass just to write movies about what he wants? Well, yeah, he does. Why you have a 55-year-old man writing and directing a movie about a teenage romance, that is questionable maybe, and makes me think, as we get older, do we like to be reflective of our childhoods? Do we actually go back into ourselves? At the age of 40, I find it kind of a little bit cringy writing about teenage stuff because I feel, well, I'm not a teenager anymore. Paul Thomas Anderson seems quite comfortable, and especially in this movie. So really, that's where my negative personal review would end, in that the questionable subject matter of a 55-year-old, because really we're in the hands of an amazing writer-director here. And there's some standout performances here. Alana Haim, she is one of the Haim trio, who are a really cool band, I've realized recently. I started watching their music videos, and you start watching the music videos and you realize, oh, Paul Thomas Anderson directed some of them. And they got quite a kind of a kitsch cool feel to them. And he obviously worked with Alana Haim and thought, I need to put you in a movie. He felt something with her. She'd never acted before. She's a musician, but he felt a kind of a pull or a gravity, and he knew that she would be liked by the camera. And he was absolutely right. She was in London when she got an email from Paul Thomas Anderson which said, hey, do you want to look at this script? And the lead character was called Alana, and she read it and thought, great, he's named the lead character after me. And she sent it back and went, this is a lovely script, Paul, but did you want me to critique it, or are you going to give me a small part in it? And he said, no, you are the main part. So a massive surprise for Alana. And this is someone who's not doing this for any reason. He's not doing it to try and be cool or stand out. He's doing it because he's got a feel, and he makes what he feels. And that is why Paul Thomas Anderson is such a good filmmaker, or a lot of people like him, is because he's not going to let any kind of standard or any kind of system of Hollywood get in his way of doing what he wants to do. And that is where I would praise this film. So this movie is about a love story of Cooper Hoffman, who plays Gary, and he somehow woos this older lady, a 26-year-old. Now, if you are a 15-year-old boy and you see a girl at 26 and you're attracted to, most people would like to be able to act upon it as a 15-year-old. And I think this film is more about that rather than a 26-year-old cradle snatching. And so for me, I was kind of invested, because I kind of thought, well, when you're a school kid and you're looking out into the world, and there is this sort of answer in a way in Alana Kane's character of him trying to get ahead in the world. And he's a businessman, he's savvy, he also has got small parts in plays and in movies, so he's already got a bit of a foot into the outside world. Now with Alana Haim, she's not your conventional gorgeous 26-year-old that you would expect someone to fall in love with in a romantic comedy. But she has got this beautiful internal, and she is beautiful, I would say. And you're going along this ride, and it's quirky, it's strange. You're questioning why you're watching it every step of the way, but you're also enjoying it. And maybe you're enjoying it but thinking, why am I enjoying this? Maybe I shouldn't. But what I love about it is that it takes you on this journey. You're set in the 70s, and it's the clothes, it's the music, It's the strange, wonderful characters. There's a sense of the kind of freedom they had in the 70s that we don't have now. And to be able to sort of start your own business at a young age and to just have the naivety and the balls to do it. Whereas nowadays we're just so much in our structures and in our boxes. So Cooper Hoffman's character, Gary, is really fun to watch. And see him just bashing down walls and breaking down boundaries and just going ahead with things, and it really makes you feel like LA was a great place in the 70s to be alive. And maybe it's a way of Paul going, he misses that time and he feels it's not like that anymore. It's changed and it's different. There's a few funny cameos. Bradley Cooper, he's amusing, he's strange, he's quirky, but the standout for me was Sean Penn, pretty much acting himself, Sean Penn. And he was fantastic. I loved his role. I loved the way that he's just kind of crowbarred in there for no reason, but that's kind of what the whole film is like. So, we have Cooper Hoffman, who's Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. He's amazing. He's funny without trying, and there's a lot of weight to his performance. And he really has his dad's effortless talent, annoyingly. He just does. And, you know, he's in his 20s when he's playing this, so it's not like he is actually 15. And I think you kind of know that when you're watching it. It's worth noting that you don't really know time moving on, so he could almost be 18, 19 by the end of the movie when they do get together, so I don't feel that's as bad as some people are saying. Some people might think he's still 15. I don't think that's the case. There's a lot of people who sort of say Paul Thomas Anderson is a perfectionist. I don't see him like that. I see him as a filmmaker's filmmaker. He writes what he directs, and he writes from the heart. And I think that comes out in spades in this movie. So you might find the people who do love this movie are the ones who are more inclined to the screenwriter director rather than the action-packed, big budget kind of movies. I think one thing I noticed with this, which I like to say about Paul Thomas Anderson, is that when he's hitting quite a serious subject matter like a 26-year-old dating a 15-year-old, he doesn't meet it head on. He makes it quirky, and maybe he's kind of thinking that makes it okay, or it kind of cushions everything a little bit. I would like to see Paul Thomas Anderson go back to There Will Be Blood. I think most people would like to see something of that ilk or that standard. Okay, that's enough about Licorice Pizza. I clearly like it. It's a great movie. Alana Haim, Cooper Hoffman, a great cast, Benny Safdie, and even Bradley Cooper and Sean Penn. Really enjoyable.